You remember this? Good morning, Marianas. As long as we got each other. We got the world spinning right in our hands, baby. You and me. Good morning, Marianas. It is a beautiful day here. We're going 80s this morning. Good morning, everybody. I almost don't want to stop. I want to watch the next episode. Oh my gosh. Good morning, everybody. It is 81 degrees. It's a beautiful day. It's 7-Eleven. That's right. We're open all the time. Hey, good morning, Marianas. You're looking down at Beach Road here. It's a beautiful morning on Wednesday, May 29th, 7-Eleven, 81 degrees. And it's going to be a great day. Isolated showers throughout the day, mostly sunny skies, high near 88. East winds 7 to 9 miles per hour. That's right. It is pretty chill out there today. Don't worry. It's not going to be too bad. Oh, man. And we've got so many things that we're going to get to today. Whoa, there we go. Good morning. Why am I dressed up? How come I'm not wearing bummy stuff and shorts? I'm actually wearing pants and shoes and stuff. I got stuff to do today. Good morning, everybody. Tobot, and great to see you guys. It's always great to see you guys. In fact, it's almost like you guys are just right here hanging out with me whenever I do the show. That goes for everybody, too. It's not just you guys. I love everybody who tunes in. Good morning, guys. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We're going to get to all this stuff. And remember, we're able to get your stuff. You got a question, you got a comment, you let us know, and we will get to it. We'll talk about all that stuff. Take all your concerns and you name it. Now, we do have a bunch of headlines that came in throughout the day. We're going to talk about some sports scores. We're going to talk about the conference finals of the Laddie Cup. If you don't know about that, you weren't here yesterday, but you're going to find out about it today. The Laddie Cup is rather impressive. And, you know, that name is 100% going toward, or credit goes toward Ann for giving us that. I'm telling you, the Laddie Cup, it is the Stanley Cup for the NHL playoffs. It looks just like a Laddie Stone. It is. And I'm telling you that goes into my theory that the ancient Chamorros, it must have invented hockey, or at least they helped design the trophy. I can't prove it, but you're going to have to prove me wrong if you're not going to go with that. That's it. That's all I got to say about it, at least for now. Anyway, lots of stuff going on. What a night. What a day. Difference. Yesterday we had a little hiccups, but, you know, the good folks over at IT&E took care of us and gave us everything that we need to make sure that we're able to broadcast on both channels today. We weren't able to do that yesterday, so if you were tuning into YouTube, you missed out yesterday. We're going to be uploading yesterday's episode there, but we're also going to get down and start talking about our headlines from the United States and all around the world from the Associated Press with headline news, just like we do every single day that we're on here, weekdays. Hey, remember, do you know our number? If you don't know it by heart, that's okay. It's 670-789-2323. That's the number. You want to give us a call and let us know what's happening in your world, your organization, your club, your association, just you. Let us know. Anyway, we're going to get to all the stuff that we got today, but first we're going to throw it over to the Associated Press that cover all the headlines from the U.S. and around the world.
AP News. I'm Ed Donahue. More on closing arguments in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial in New York in a moment. But there was a new wrinkle today. Supporters of President Biden were outside the courthouse. 2 Capitol police officers talked about the Capitol riot. And with them was Robert De Niro.
Donald Trump wants to destroy not only the city, but the country, and eventually he could destroy the world.
Trump supporters say President Biden is losing and described De Niro as a washed-up actor. At the hush money trial, prosecutors are presenting closing arguments, saying Donald Trump's purpose was to manipulate and defraud the voters, to pull the wool over their eyes in a coordinated fashion. The defense maintained former Trump lawyer and fixer Michael Cohen, the prosecution's star witness, lied on the witness stand. Donald Trump Jr. spoke outside court.
This is amazing. I think Todd Blanche summed it up best. If there was an MVP, if there was a GOAT of liars, it is Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen is the embodiment of reasonable doubt.
Prosecutors say Trump chose Michael Cohen to be his fixer because he was willing to lie and cheat on the defendant's behalf. President Biden will be formally nominated as the Democratic presidential nominee through a virtual roll call ahead of the party's official convention in August in Chicago. It's a maneuver that will allow the president to appear on the November ballot in Ohio. Police in Chicago fatally shot a stabbing suspect and wounded the person he was trying to stab after the suspect refused to drop his weapon. A man who was arrested in March on charges of randomly hitting a woman walking down a street in New York City has been indicted on hate crimes charges for that assault and several others. A federal appeals court upheld a retired New York Police Department officer's conviction and 10-year prison sentence for assaulting a police officer during the Capitol riot. This is AP News. Some encouraging numbers about consumer confidence.
After 3 straight months of declines, consumer confidence is up this month, although Americans do remain anxious about inflation and interest rates. The Conference Board, which is a business research group, says its consumer confidence index rose from 97.5 in April to 102 this month, which is great news since analysts were expecting the index to decline again. As for the measure of American short-term expectations for income, business, and the job market, that was up about 6 points since April. I'm Shelley Adler.
In San Francisco, David DePape, the man convicted of attempting to hold former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi hostage and attacking her husband with a hammer 2 years ago, apologized in federal court, but still received a 30-year prison sentence. It was a resentencing hearing that resulted from judicial error. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
All right, and just like that, we are back, folks. Hey, want to say welcome to everybody who's just making it to the show today. You know, today is brought to you by the same kind of sponsors that we have all the time, and they're growing, and you can get on board as well. Laddie Built, one of our sponsors. If you have not been to their new location, folks, you are missing out. It's right down there in Chellan-Kanoa. And it's in the heart of everything. It's between, you got Great Harvest, and you've got Payless, you've got Surfrider. Everything's down there in that area. They used to be in they used to be in Cagman. They used to be right across by the MBA. Now they've combined both of those two gyms that they had to have one new super gym. And it's great. It opened up at the beginning of this year. If you haven't been down there, you need to go check it out. I'm telling you. The new Laddie Built facility in Chellan-Kanoa is awesome. They've got all kinds of free weights. Easy for me to say. They've got all kinds of free weights. Free weights. They've got machines. They got treadmills. They got bikes. They got a sauna. They got a cold plunge. They got a big area for you to do all kinds of CrossFit stuff. They've got smoothie shake bars and everything right there. You name it, they got it. And it's just so cool. And hey, if you don't even know how to do the exercises, they got you covered too. They got QR codes, so bring your smartphone with you, zap it, and take a look at it, and they will take you right to a little tutorial for every piece of equipment that they have. I'm telling you, you can't beat it. You at least got to go down there and check it out. Go down there, walk in. They'll be happy to have you and show you around a little bit because the place, I'm telling you, it looks terrific. It's right in, where is it in CK? It's right in front of the Aquarius Beach Tower. You can't miss it. It used to be Mina's, and then they gutted the whole building. I'm telling you, they put in so much time and effort to do that place up nice. You got it. I'm telling you, don't miss out. Treat yourself, and go check it out. And if you do, you can give us a little love too. Tell them you saw us. Say Brad sent me. Or tell them you saw it on the NMI News Service or Good Morning Marianas, because they want to be able to know that people are watching it when, hey, people are, but they want to hear it, and we could be the ones to tell them that they saw it here. So go down there, check it out. Now, if you go there and sign up, first of all, you can sign up online on their website at laddiebuilt.com. And if you do, use code LB24, and that's going to be how they know that you saw it from us too. But again, you go down there, you tell them you saw it here, and it's great. Anyway, we'll show you a little bit. If you haven't seen it, we'll give you a little peek, just a little peek to see what they got going on over there. And then we're going to get to all our headlines for today. So check this out.
persistent to build. Be the inspiration, they witness approve. We do what we do by the rules in the book. We be a lottie where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistent to build. Be the inspiration, they witness approve. We do what we do by the rules in the book.
All right. That's just to give you a little bit about what's going on over there at Laddiebuilt down there in Chalon-Canoa. Our newest sponsor. There's another one on the way, by the way. They just emailed us yesterday. And it's great. I love it. People coming in, and as soon as we get all those I's dotted and T's crossed, we'll be posting their stuff on here too. But just say there's a certain dealership from a certain town, from a certain island that starts with an ish that's going to be here. Anyway, we'll see them in just a little bit. Yeah, I don't know why I'm on this 80s TV theme kick this morning, but let's just say that I am, because I'm feeling a little awesome today. I don't know what it is. You know what? I saw that Frankie Elliptigo, who is Mr. Everything up there at NMC and helping out at the governor's office and everything, I saw he's going to be the keynote speaker at MHS's graduation. And I think that's what it is. I saw that he graduated in 1992. That's right, a year that started with a 1. So did I. 1992. Holy cow. That's super. That's awesome. Hey, good morning. Thanks for tuning in. Anyway, it's something about that started kicking me down like memory lane about all the different things and just old retro kind of stuff. And so that's what we're at today. I hope you like it. Hang on. You're going to be along for the ride as we listen to some of those old 80s, those old 80s tunes. Anyway, I'm sure Frankie's going to do a great day today at the graduation. He's a great public speaker. He's a great writer. And again, he was the guy in charge of marketing for our college, the guy who keeps making all these great strides despite all the typhoons and the pandemic, working with the leadership over there. In fact, we thought that he was going to be the new director. He was only doing that in an acting capacity for the longest. And then he said he just didn't want the job. He wanted to stay where he was at in that marketing communications position. And who could blame him? That's where I'd rather be. No kidding. All right. Hey, I don't know if you guys are following the sports and the playoffs and everything like that, but in the NBA, we talked about it. The Celtics swept the Pacers. They did it in 4 games. Yeah, because that's how you sweep them. You got to win all the games, and they did that. They did that in 4 games. They won. It was a close one this time, though. 105-102 over the Pacers, but the 1-seed Celtics making their way all the way to the NBA Finals. Now, who are they going to play? Dallas Mavericks are doing a pretty good job of handling the Timberwolves so far. Timberwolves are down 3-0 to the Mavs. The Mavs won 116-107 just the other day. But today at 10:30, they're going to play again. It's going to be Game 4. Dallas, 3-game lead, hosting the Timberwolves. What do you got? I mean, it's been a close series so far. I mean, Game 2 was a 1-point game. Game 1 went to overtime. So, how's it going to go? I don't know. So Game 1 was 105-108. Game 2 was 108-109. And Game 3 is 107-116. Are the T-Wolves beaten? Are they done? Is it over for them? I don't know. We're going to find out. Sorry, Game 1 didn't go to overtime. Game 1 with the Pacers and Celtics went to overtime. That was my bad, guys. But I'll tell you, it's an interesting thing, what's happening in the playoffs. And nobody's cruising. Nobody's pulling away from anybody. And maybe that's because today is National Snail Day. Are you feeling a little sluggish today? That could be it. It could be because it's National Snail Day. You should celebrate your slowness today. Be happy with it. It says, Tobot says, took the day off so he could renew his registration and renew insurance. No tinting for the rest of the week. Oh, my gosh. The rest of Saipan's going to be squinting because Tobot is not out there tinting. What's going to happen? Hey, good to see you, man. Go and knock out all that administrative stuff so you can get back out there doing all the good things that you do out there. Hey, but hey, at least you're taking the time off and still here for the show. I'll take that 10 times out of 10. Man, it's good to see you, partner. Good to see you, for sure. Did we talk about the Laddie Cup playoffs? The Laddie Cup playoffs. What happened to it? I had it right here on the screen, and it magically disappeared. All right, so let's get that on there because we're in the conference finals for the NHL right now. You've got the Oilers and the Stars. The Stars just took a 2-1 lead. Here, let me pull this up. NHL playoffs. The NHL playoffs, it's a big deal. Well, the Dallas Stars and the Edmonton Oilers, they got a lot of history playing each other over the years. And really, toward the end of it, like whoever wins this series is going to the Laddie Cup. And the Stars just beat the Oilers 5-3 yesterday. Yep. Man, good to see you, partner. Oh, yeah, we could do that commercial. We could definitely do that commercial, Tobot. All right. But today, the New York Rangers and the Florida Panthers are going to go head-to-head in Florida. The Rangers have a 2-1 lead, and they just won in overtime on Monday, 5-4. It's a couple of great series. If you're not used to watching hockey, I get it. It's not really our warm weather sport out here. But it's a fast-moving sport. There's a lot of hits. I mean, I think local folks would be like pretty bomb at playing hockey. Just the intensity and the focus you got. I mean, you're solid. You're going to be able to knock people down and be able to absorb those hits too. And great vision through, being able to navigate in those tight spaces and all that stuff. I think it would be like legit. And that's maybe why, maybe I told you about the Stanley Cup and how it looks like it looks like a Laddie Stone. True story. Prove me wrong. All right, we're getting down to the bottom of the hour, and that means I've got your latest update in sports from the Associated Press. So we're going to get that to you. I want to make sure that we keep you going. Like this, it's a thing that we got. We got news at the top of the hour. We got sports at the bottom of the hour. So we're going to go ahead and get you the latest in sports from the Associated Press. And so don't miss it. I mean, we're right here. It's a good update. This is a short one.
AP Sports, I'm Tom Merriam. Memorial Day was saddened even further by news of the death of one of the greatest basketball players ever, Bill Walton, whose impact on society went well beyond the hardwood. Walton died of cancer at age 71 on Monday. He won 2 NBA and 2 NCAA championships and was the College Player of the Year in all 3 of his seasons at UCLA. He was also well known for his social activism and his career as a broadcaster. Walton won one of his NBA titles with the Boston Celtics, who are headed back to the NBA Finals after sweeping the Pacers with a 105-102 Game 4 win in Indianapolis. NHL, the Stars rode Jason Robertson's hat trick to a 5-3 Game 3 victory in Edmonton to go up 2-1 over the Oilers. Baseball, the Guardians' 9-game winning streak was broken by the Rockies. Longtime umpire Angel Hernandez is retiring immediately. During a career that lasted more than 3 decades, Hernandez was often scorned by players, managers, and fans for missed calls and quick ejections. Tom Merriam, AP Sports.
All right, welcome back, CNMI. It is, we're all about these 80s TV themes today. That's what we're going for. Can you remember which one this is? Looking at you guys in the comments, do you remember this theme song? What show is this from? Yeah. I know I got some people my age watching this stuff, so you guys have a chance. Can you pick the song? It's kind of a tough one. Think 80s. Think Alyssa Milano. No, not Love Boat. Although we could do Love Boat, but that's definitely not Love Boat. Think the last part of that theme is the guy rounding third. Here, we'll play it again. By the way, it's got such a slow intro. That's why there's this quiet period. So the guy rounding third, he's going to be sliding in to third into home plate. Only it's not a slide. If he would have dropped down, instead he's like way up in the air instead of going down the slide playing softball. Same guy. He was on Taxi. I'm not like if I give his name, it's going to be like an easy one for you. Angela, Jonathan, Samantha. All right, Tony Danza, come on. All right, I know you got it. It's got to be there. It's classic stuff. Classic stuff. That's what we're talking about today. Not just that, but that's it. Hey, hey, it's National. No, not Cheers. You are just. Why you're forgogging me. Who's the boss? Who's the boss? Cheers is a good one too, though. By the way, Cheers is a good one. Man, I tell you what. Maybe we should use. I already think I got. Like if I start doing the police blotter updates. Telling you all those things that come by. I have the right music for it just based on 80s TV. It is good. But, man, to me, I don't know what it was. It was this morning. Got up and I heard that in my head, that Growing Pains theme. And that was something that we ended up getting to. Anyway, folks, hey, it's 81 degrees. It is Wednesday, and it's going to be great in Saipan. Traffic is moving right along outside behind me. I know you can see it. If we flash back to the street real quick, you can see, hey, it's starting to get more people out there, but at least it's still moving. Remember there was that big pit of death out there? Well, it's already filled in. That means they're going to have to start paving pretty soon. And, oh, my God, if they start paving over here in Olei, we're going to be in good shape when it comes down to next school season. I'm telling you, maybe we should feel optimistic in putting these traffic completion dates in the context of school years. Say, hey, by the time next school year comes around, you shouldn't have any traffic woes on Beach Road. All right, that sounds a little bit better. I mean, that's one of the cool things about this project. And if it doesn't get as wide as what they say, I'll be disappointed, definitely, for sure. Because it's supposed to be a bike lane on each side, 2 lanes on each side, and a turn lane. I don't know if it's wide enough for all that stuff out there, but there's supposed to be a turn lane the whole way through from the AK intersection all the way down to Chalampiao. And if that's the case, driving on Beach Road is going to be amazing. But it looks like it's too narrow. Like, especially over there in like when you get into Susupi, it looks like it's going to be too narrow for what they said with that turn lane all the way through. I mean, that's the dream, right? Like, that's how it's not going to clog traffic by having that. And if you went to the economic forum with the Saipan Chamber of Commerce, you could see that they had the plans with DPW about doing a roundabout over at the end of Beach Road by Memorial Park. That'll be awesome if they end up doing that. And that doesn't look like there's a whole lot of room to do it. But, in Tinian, they've got a couple of roundabouts, and they're not using a whole lot of space, and it keeps everything moving. Not that there's a ton of traffic over there, but look at that. There's like no traffic now. How about that? So if they end up putting in that roundabout over there at Memorial Park, man, things don't really get congested over there once in a while, like around 5 o'clock. But that should pretty much go away, you would think, anyhow. I'll take it. I'll take it for sure. All right, guys. Hey, a story that we talked about, and it's not a particularly fun topic, but just to make sure that we do talk about it. In fact, we mentioned that a former MHS band instructor, David Fromm, he lived here for a long time, and people didn't know about him being the bad guy that he was until he left. And they found out pretty quick over there in Malaysia. Well, maybe not exactly quick. Apparently, and this is not allegedly anymore, because he was found guilty of possession of child pornography. Ugh, God, I don't even like saying it out loud. But this guy ended up, here's what happened. I actually got the phone call from these guys saying, what do we do? True story, because we were messaging them before that he was out there saying, hey, beware of this guy. You got him you're showing him as one of the teachers at your school. He just left the CNMI, and the law enforcement here is looking for him. And then he ended up doing this thing where he sets up a camera at this kid's house and everything, and they get him for it. And they're like, hey, do you know this guy? What should we do? Well, we put him in touch with the local law enforcement here. And so he ends up getting convicted. He gets arrested and convicted in Malaysia. And he had to pay a fine. He's already paid the fine. And he pled guilty to possession of child pornography and time served, right? Because he's going to be extradited to the U.S. And that means he'll probably come here to face a trial for the stuff that he was alleged to have done here, which is when he was taking some inappropriate photos on the way back from that Tumon Bay Music Festival when he was here. One of the students who was on the plane saw him allegedly taking some photos, inappropriate photos of the students as they were sleeping. At least one student. Like, really inappropriate. I don't even want to talk about it. It just makes me sick. And then after he got suspended from the school, and he left. And right after he left, law enforcement went to his place and started searching all his stuff. They went to his classroom and searched all his stuff. They found cameras in the speakers, in the bathroom, in his office. Yep, creepy stuff. Anyway, that's the kind of stuff he's going to face when he gets back here. Innocent until proven guilty, but he was just found guilty in Malaysia. Now he's got other things that he's facing over there too, especially for overstaying his visa because the guy didn't renew or travel because he knew that people were looking for him. Yeah. So he might be coming back here to face charges here. So he overstayed the country for 1,380 days. You know, about 4 years or so. Yeah. Well, and what's the other charge that he got? Sexual offenses against children. You know, he still has to face those. Even if he ends up getting guilty on all of them, with the rumors, with the folks who were involved directly in it in Malaysia, and I'm not talking about law enforcement, they're not telling me anything, but the folks who are involved on the other end of it, the parents of that kid, they said that the rumors in Malaysia is that they're just going to convict him and then extradite him to the U.S. where he could face the charges here. That's going to be a big deal. That'll be a bigger story if he comes back here. But yeah, David Fromm, and he had people snowed out here. People did not know. He had a lot of close friends who are people in good positions and just felt awful about it afterwards. They had no idea. Well, at least they got him. All right. So the good guys over there in Malaysia got one of the bad guys. So we got that going for us. If he ends up coming back here, well, then at least the kids from here, their parents will get a little bit of justice out of that too. I know. I know. I'm reading it. It's alleged, but I'm telling you, it's alleged. That's fine. That's why he'll get his day in court. So he'll be able to afford him his day in court. He'll be able to say his piece. I don't know. But this guy, it's tough. I hear you can't fix that stuff. It's terrible. All right, let's talk about good stuff. All right. Donovan Mendiola. You know him, good dude from Saipan, really good guy. He just won a deadlift competition in Korea. Yep, he's in the military, and he just deadlifted 555 pounds. The triple nickel. That's right, he's a staff sergeant, and he's over there in Korea, and he just won the strongman deadlift competition at K-16 Seoul Air Base. Congratulations, Donovan. That's awesome. Repping us in this out there in Korea. Hey, Freddie, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so all kinds of good stuff happening. Oh, I guess DPS wants to celebrate by throwing those those on the sirens on as they go by. Yeah, but Donovan, great job out there, man. Way to represent the CNMI, looking like a champ and doing great stuff. That's the kind of good news that we're happy to report on, for sure. Hey, other folks getting recognized. The governor recognized one of his supporters by naming a couple, actually. He nominated Bruce Camacho, another military guy, to be the Office of Grants Management, the state clearinghouse, to the grant specialist, Bruce Camacho, to be the newest guy on the Commonwealth Public Utilities Commission. We had a conversation about this last night. Bruce is a great guy. Great guy. And his dad's an Army vet, too. Really great guy over there in Tinian. And he's going to do a good job over there on CPUC. Absolutely. He's there with Jack Angelo. He's there with Jim Cyrock. Bruce Camacho is going to do a great job for the CNMI, for sure. He's not the only one who's getting recognized, though. No, because another one of the Gov's supporters, Eleanor Alinas, she's being nominated, and she's going down the road to confirmation to become the latest member for the Commonwealth Zoning Board. And that's it. She knows what's going on. She's been around for a while, and she's been taking care of the Gov, been one of the supporters. I saw her at all those events and all that stuff during the election time. So I know that she's part of that club, and now she's getting those flowers to go and be a member of the board, the zoning board. You know, I wonder about that. If you're a member of the business community and you want to oversee something like that, I think that's great. They have direct say in those kind of things. But is that like is it a big deal when you get named to something like that? I mean, not me. I mean, what do you guys think? Is it a big deal if you get named to one of these boards, if you're going to be the zoning board guy or the public utilities guy? I mean, especially if that's not your main thing, right? If it's not your main thing in life, if you are, I would think you'd want to have somebody who has some expertise in the utilities to be on the Public Utilities Commission, right? Maybe you have a couple outliers in there just to get those everyman perspectives on things. But wouldn't you want somebody who's kind of an expert on those kind of things? That's great. Zoning makes sense too. I mean, even like real estate folks, I think might even be a good choice because they know the value of all that stuff, and they know the value of making sure that, people are up to code when it comes to signage, or making sure that this area is zoned properly for residential, mixed-use, commercial, industrial, all that stuff. I would think that would be somebody that would be a good person to have in there. So do you appoint people that are just your supporters, or do you want to have that extra thing on there? I don't know. I'm just curious what your take is. It seemed like if it was any board for anything that's going on, I would want to have somebody who, it's nice to have that mixture in there for sure, but you'd want to have some of those experts in there to really carry the weight of it for you. That's what I would say, especially for the utilities, right? It's a tough one. I don't want to get too heavy into that one. I could run away with it a little bit, unfortunately. I have an opinion. I'm sure you do too. All right, I'll tell you what. We're going to take a real quick break. And when we come back, we're going to tell you more about what's going on today. Hey, and hopefully we're going to hear what you guys have to say about this stuff. You don't want to just hear me all day. We want to hear about what you got going on. All right, we'll be back with more right after this.
It's a great day to be up 3-0. I'll tell you that. It probably is not great to be down 3-0.
I'm Brad Rosala, and I'm the owner for Commonwealth Communications.
And I am Jojo Alipuzu. I am the owner of Island Image and Motion.
And this is our joint venture, Sideline Studios. This whole concept that we have of doing all these live stream productions and covering news and doing live shows and everything, it wouldn't happen if we didn't have a great partner like IT&E, someone who could handle the bandwidth and provide it and then get us what we need when we need it, and then be a real partner for us for all the events, whether we're doing live sporting events, broadcasts. All of these things happen because of our partnership with IT&E.
With IT&E providing us with the fiber and point-to-point and even the MBRs, it's just a great piece of equipment to use when we're broadcasting our sports, our events, our performances, especially our cultural performances. And it's just great to share our culture here in the Marianas with the world. And ITNE has been there from the get-go.
The thing I like best about working with ITNE is how willing they are to come out and find a solution. Even for Liberation Day, we thought we had a pretty good solution for our live stream setup, and it turns out that we did not have the right setup that we thought we needed. That day, just before the parade, reached out to Paul and said, here's our situation. What do you think? He's like, we're gonna figure this out. While he's sitting there barbecuing, getting ready for the parade to start, he starts burning up the phone lines, calling everybody in ITNE, what can we do, what's the right solution? They left their families to do this stuff and get us the equipment that we needed to broadcast live. That's over and above. That's on a holiday. That's when he was out there spending time with his family.
That's why ITNE is just the best, just really in touch with the people and the community.
I recommend ITNE to everybody. Tell them the options are there, and you can choose whoever you want and then figure out what you think is the best. But when you're ready, when you're tired of having your calls disconnected or not having service, then you reach out to the guys from ITNE.
Persistence to build, be the inspiration they witness approve. We do what we do by the rules in the book. We be a lottie where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistence to build. Be the inspiration they witness approve. We do what we do by the rules in the book.
My name is Kelly. I've never been good at giving up. And that's okay, because I have big plans. This might sound crazy right now, but someday, I will be the captain of my own ship.
This is the captain. Attention on deck!
I'll steer it through new waters. And I'll stand up to the biggest storms. Me and my crew will fight back against the toughest enemies. I'll lead the sailors on my ship, my way. And together, we will always do what is right. I'll show the world any girl can be a captain. I'll show them that I am enough. No matter what comes my way, I'll stay the course. Because history won't remember those who took the easy way out. My name is Kelly, and it means determination.
AP News. I'm Ed Donahue. During former President Donald Trump's hush money trial, some of his supporters have been showing up at court. Today, some supporters of President Biden were outside the court, including an Academy Award winner, Robert De Niro. He said Trump wants to destroy the country.
This is not a threat. This is a reality.
Also with De Niro, a pair of former police officers in an effort to refocus the presidential race on the Capitol riot. Jason Miller, Trump's senior campaign advisor, says this shows the hush money trial was political.
Joe Biden is losing nationally, is losing in every single battleground state, and President Trump's numbers continue to rise. And the best that Biden can do is roll out a washed-up actor.
The prosecution is presenting closing arguments in Trump's hush money trial. Joshua Steinglass told the Manhattan jury the former president was part of a conspiracy and a cover-up, while a defense lawyer branded the star witness, former Trump lawyer and fixer Michael Cohen, as the greatest liar of all time and pressed the panel for an across-the-board acquittal. The Pentagon says the U.S.-built temporary pier taking humanitarian aid to starving Palestinians has been damaged in rough seas and weather and will be removed from the coast of Gaza to be repaired. Spokeswoman Sabrina Singh was asked what happens to the aid.
Some of that aid that is currently in Cyprus is being loaded onto vessels. So when the pier is re-anchored back onto the Gaza shore, that aid would already be pre-positioned and can roll off pretty immediately.
The White House is condemning the loss of life of dozens of civilians as a result of an Israeli airstrike in Rafah, but said it is not planning any policy changes as a result of the Israeli actions. More than 1 million homes and businesses are without power from severe weather in Texas, including damaging winds and baseball-sized hail. Stocks finished mixed, the Dow down 216 points. This is AP News. A new study of Hollywood blockbusters finds hardly any of them discuss climate change and whether a character knows about it. Here's the AP's Margie Zaraletta.
Mankind's melting the polar ice caps, destroying the ecosystem. They got it coming.
Hey, I don't mind if the ocean dries.
That's Batman and Aquaman in the 2017 movie Justice League. According to a study by Colby College in Maine, it's a rare popular film that addresses climate change. The study looked at 250 movies from the last 10 years that were set on Earth and took place between the years 2006 and 2100. Fewer than 10% incorporated climate change into the story. Some of the ones that did are surprising, like the whodunit Glass Onion and the horror movie Midsummer. Lead researcher Matthew Schneider-Meyerson says most popular films are not portraying the world as it is. I'm Margie Zaraletta.
Streaming services had a higher percentage of movies that included climate change. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
All right, welcome back, everybody. You're looking down there at Beach Road in Olei. Traffic moving along just fine on this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Wednesday morning. And it's just getting a little bit hotter out there, but it's not coming too fast. Don't worry. It's 81 degrees out here in Saipan, and 81 degrees seems pretty nice around 8 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's complaining about that at all. I'm certainly not. Hey, we're going to have a guest coming in at the top of the hour. We're going to have Nadine De Leon Guerrero. She's going to be talking to us all about the Saipan Small Business Development Center over there at NMC. We're going to hear about Operation Boots to Business, from service to startup. It's with the U.S. Small Business Administration, and it's going to be happening here at the Napu Room at Pacific Islands Club next week, Tuesday, June 4th from 10 to 6. It's going to be a big deal, and you want to make sure that you can get in there. If you haven't registered already, you need to. This doesn't cost anything at all. It's even better. We're going to be talking about introduction to business ownership, the basics, opportunity recognition, understanding markets in your competitive space, economics of small business startups, legal considerations for veteran-owned small businesses, and an introduction to business planning. That's coming up here at the top of the hour. So you can't lose when Nadine De Leon Guerrero comes on with us. We're going to get to meet Dennis Kwok. He's the director of the VBOC, as they call it, of the Pacific. And it'll be great. What's the VBOC? It's the Veterans Business Outreach Centers. That's who we're going to hear from on June 4th next week. So anyway, it's a good deal for us, and Nadine's going to be in here to tell us all about it. Well, she's not coming down here today because she's got a phone call that she's actually on right now. But afterwards, she's going to give us a ring, and we're going to hear more from her because they do all kinds of great stuff. And we're really happy to have her on here with us. A show. Hey, getting around is not going to be it's not going to be an easy thing for folks in the CNMI because we don't have a whole lot of money. But there are organizations that do pay our way to get different places, and that's how the Legislative Bureau is going to be getting folks to Guam next month. Well, I say next month. It's really July. I mean, it's almost July. Today's the 29th of May. We only got a couple days left. So anyway, in July, there's going to be a big conference over there for all kinds of folks at the Mariana Islands Legislature Association. It's going to be from July 10th to the 14th. And we're going to be sending some of our staffers and some of our legal counsels from the CNMI House of Representatives and the Senate through the Legislative Bureau. Now, don't worry, it's not going to cost us any money because it's all federally funded. So that's a good thing. And boy, thank you, Office of Insular Affairs, for taking care of that stuff. I mean, if it wasn't, I'll tell you, that federal funding, that's what saves the bacon for us, for sure. I wouldn't say that we live within our means too well, or we, at the very least, we push that sucker. And we push it to the limit, baby. But luckily, we're able to do all that stuff and go to those kind of conferences because of that federal funding. That sweet, sweet, sweet Uncle Sam Sugar coming down and giving us some money for all these things. We'll take it. We'll take it. You know, the Chamber of Commerce yesterday was at the Rotary Club of Saipan. You don't see that often. I mean, you'll have members go to both places. That's not necessarily a big deal, right? To have people who are in the chamber going to the Rotary Club, that's not a mystery, or that's not anything out of the ordinary. It happens all the time. But what was interesting is they made a presentation to the Rotary, which isn't something that I'm accustomed to seeing. It's not a bad thing. It's just something that you don't see all the time, because the Rotary Club is business people, but they don't really talk about their businesses. And they don't talk about business in general necessarily, but they do talk about what's happening. And so the Saipan Chamber of Commerce was asked by the Rotary to come in and say, hey, talk to us about your presentation that was in the Operation 500K. And that's the big deal. Like, that's what the combination between the Hotel Association of the Northern Mariana Islands and the Saipan Chamber of Commerce and the Marianas Visitors Authority saying, hey, we need to get at least 500,000 tourists a year. And that's just to help us break even. That's pretty rough. And last year, we only had like 215,000. Yeah. And just to give you an idea, 5 years before that, or 4 years before that, it was 487,000. Isn't that wild? At the same time. So what they're trying to do is get some extra flights coming in from China. Right now, according to board member Ron Smith, he said Operation 500K requires 7 flights from South Korea, 4 from China, and 1 from Japan every day. And that's it. They're trying to diversify the market, trying to get folks coming in from all over the place. And it seems like there's this little battle in the press lately. I mean, ever since, like, the Hyde's closing, right? That's done. They just closed Skipper's this weekend. You know, that little beach bar? They just got rid of, they just closed that down. And so they're going to continuously close things and limit their operations between now and the end of the month. And then in the end of June. But who else is going? We talked about Eland. I know we talked about it a couple times already. But Eland is waiting to see what happens this summer. And they have said that if, you know, the projections are bad, but if the actual numbers are bad, they may be closing up in weeks. This is not months, like in weeks. COP, which is the golf course and the hotel. You got Pacific Islands Club and Kensington could all close if those numbers go bad. I mean, that's pretty bad. So Ron Smith goes into the Rotary to tell them about, hey, this is what our presentation was about at the Economic Forum. You know, it wasn't all rainbows and unicorns. It was some doom and gloom. It says, hey, this is what we need to do or we're out of luck. So that's your business community telling you that, right? And you're getting something different from the governor's office than what you're getting from the business community. So that says, hey, what the heck's the real deal? What is the real deal? The community needs to know. Getting some conflicting info. And I get it. And the real deal is that when people can't pay bills, businesses close. And that's what's happening right now. I say that with a giggle because it's like there's no maybe about that. That part's pretty clear. Everybody sees what's happening out there. It's clear. Look around. Go to all the little businesses. Everybody's struggling. Everybody's hurting. The hotels are hurt. The restaurants are hurt. Everybody who depends on the tourist market is hurting. No problem. So what do? You get more tourists. That helps, right? So now we're trying to get more tourists in. But the focus on China is what is the big point of contention between the governor's policy and what the business community is talking about. And that's going to be it. That's what that's what's going to be playing out. Now, could China help us out? Sure. I mean, if they have the numbers. But really, I mean, let me ask you guys what you think. I would love to hear it. I have some thoughts on it too, but really, I'd love to see us not have to use China. But if China's the easy one that helps everybody, that's great. But the easy thing isn't usually what works best for the CNY. That part I know. Because the easy quick fix is what we go to for everything. And it eventually screws us over. Doesn't it? It usually screws us over. The easy quick fix. And that's how it works in regular life anyway. Hold on, let me see if that's Nadine. No, but I did get a message this morning. I got to check this out. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Freddie, got your message. I did see that. 1 second. But so real quick before I go into that, the quick fix is what always screws us over. I mean, ever since I've seen this stuff, since I've been here, it seems like our fixation on what seems to be the quick fix is always what screws us over. And then instead of trying to get that quick fix and then look for something stable, we just try to ride out that quick fix until we can find the next quick fix. It's like we're caught in this never-ending loop of trying to find the next quick fix. It'd be great if we had someone who could really put together a long-term solution while going for that quick fix at the same time, instead of saying, oh, we're good for a while. See, look at me. I'm the one who brought us that quick fix. But we don't have to go back too far. That's exactly what happened with the whole IPI thing when that trip to Macau in 2014. That's what's going to save the retirement. And it did. At the beginning, all that IPI cash, when there was IPI cash, certainly did help. I mean, look at our economy, all those tourists who came in. It was great. It came with a whole lot of baggage too, but it was a quick fix. What was a quick fix before that? There are all these different solutions that were going to be, temporary quick fixes. I think the thing is that there's just no quick fix. I don't know how we're into this thing that we think that there's always a quick fix right around the corner. There just isn't. It's just going to be hard. It's like starting a business. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be fun. You might suffer. I'm part of it. I know it. But we got to figure our way out of here and have something that's more permanent and something that seems like a long-term thing. And those little things, starting with some of that hard work, like getting our tourist sites to look good, making our destination look good. And I'll tell you, having a roadwork project that takes over a year is crazy. Like, it's not like they're building an overpass or something like that, right? I mean, like, this is just a regular beach road work. Now, granted, they're getting a lot of pressure from different government agencies saying, hey, you need to get this stuff done. But they are granting extensions on these things. I think it got pushed back to December now, right? This is something that was supposed to be done this past January. I know the touchback, labor, and all that other stuff, but still, they should be working around the clock. Especially on such a vital thoroughfare. This is Beach Road that we're talking about. This is a major thoroughfare. You got people who are getting frustrated every single day when they go through this, when they have to deal with this traffic. Granted, it's getting better because they are progressing, so it's getting better. But, you're sitting there, they're chopping up sections of the road that don't even need to be chopped up yet. Well, just focus on the place that it actually needs it. Focus on the place that needs the repairs right away so that it's going to take care of those log jams that you got over there in the middle of the road. It's terrible. It's just difficult to watch. It's difficult to watch. And it's difficult to experience. Luckily, now that I'm here, I don't have to go all the way down Beach Road to deal with that stuff. But we were talking about this, like, okay, before I get too heavy into it, one of the things I dislike, is when folks from the mainland get here and they're like, well, back where I'm from, it's so much better when we do this. You could go do that back there where you're from. All right, so I don't want to compare it and talk about it in terms of that, but I will, just to give you a comparison. For work that has to be done on a major thoroughfare, let's say the highway, right? We call it the thruway in New York, but the highway, right? The I-90. It's a major thoroughfare. It's a major point for transit. when they have projects that need to be done, they work all night, every night, till that stuff gets done. Yes, they use lights and everything. They have a night shift to get that stuff done because a lot of that work gets done at night. There's not people driving out there, so they're not even worried about that. How do these guys close up for the now? Granted, there are people who are doing some work now after 5. I've seen them till 6. I've seen them till 7, and that's it. But how are these guys being able to have a regular gig that ends at 5 if they're doing road work? They're only working when people are using the roads. It seems so ridiculous. I'll just say GPPC bit off more than they could chew. They're doing this. They're doing the Garapan project. They're doing the AK project in Puerto Rico. They've got all those things going on. They shouldn't be allowed to get another contract till they finish one of these. And what they shouldn't be able to move on to another section of road till they can finish this one. And they're being pulled in all different directions. We're going to have a parade for Liberation Day, and it's going to be awesome. But they're doing a parade on Beach Road. And they're focusing on the construction for Beach Road in Garapan when they haven't even finished the stuff that's down here. They're so spread out. It just doesn't make any sense. I think I could talk about it for a little while. All right. I hear that. That may be our new message. Let's find out. See if we're ready to go. Because I am ready. Hold on. I am ready for our fancy guest that's going to be coming in here in a second. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We are going to take a quick break and get ready. But you know what? No, I'm not. I'm not going to take a break yet. I do. Well, let's talk about something a little bit funnier. This is something that's just tearing up the internet, and I love it. I don't know if you're a big game show fan, but have you ever seen the Wheel of Fortune? Probably you have. But this is the video that is killing people on Wheel of Fortune. Check this out.
Our first toss-up is worth $1,000. Category is phrase, and off we go. Tavares. Right in the butt. What? No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it, I think. Yeah. Much better answer.
Her reaction.
Blake.
Oh, my God. We got to watch it again. You got to focus on the reaction of the woman on the far right of the screen. What?
Our first toss-up is worth $1,000. Category is phrase, and off we go. Tavares. Right in the butt. What? No.
Oh my God.
Blake.
Oh
this
my
is
God.
the best.
Yeah, that's it, I think. Yeah. Much better answer. Blake gets.
It's so bad. Oh my gosh. Let me see.
First toss-up is worth
I'm telling you,
$1,000.
her reaction is what
phrase,
is the big winner of the whole thing for me. Hold on, I see if I can't get it. She's
Tavares. Right in the butt.
I'm watching it again as I'm doing. Hold on, let's see. Let me get it started over from the beginning so you can see.
Worth
Here we go.
$1,000.
Don't worry about the
Category
rest of the
is
video. All we
phrase,
care
and
is
off we go.
about this lady's reaction the whole time.
Tavares. Right in the butt. What? No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it, I think. Yeah. Much better answer.
Oh my God, she won the internet. She won the internet. Oh my God. Oh my God. Internet, you're killing me. You're too funny. All right. Now we're really going to take a break. I swear. We'll be right back after this.
Where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistence to build. Be the inspiration, they witness approve. We do what we do by the rules in the book. Be a Lottie where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistence to build. Be the inspiration, they witness approve. We do what we do by the rules in the book.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
You owned your car for 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad. And then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls. And you break into your happy dance.
If you sign up for Better Car Replacement, we'll pay for a car that's a model year newer with 15,000 fewer miles than your old one. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Gillette presents the Gillette Labs with Exfoliating Bar, a razor designed to take the hassle out of your routine with effortless shaving and one efficient stroke. The bar and the handle removes unseen dirt and debris that gets in the way of the blades, so nothing gets between you and a quick and easy shave. All with a lifetime warranty. Gillette, the best a man can get.
The number you have dialed is not.
All right. Good morning, Marianas, and welcome back. It is a beautiful day on Wednesday, and it's going to get a little bit even more beautiful in here because we're going to hear about some great stuff that's being done by some of the most important folks in our veterans community. Oh, and over at the college, they do take care of everything when it comes down to small businesses. Hey, I'm a small business guy. Take a look at me. So we're going to go out to Nadine De Leon Guerrero. She's on the phone with us. Nadine, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It sounds like an old Verizon commercial.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, so thanks for joining us today. I know you got a big program coming up here next week, and love
Yes.
to hear more about it.
Yeah, so we're really excited because we've actually been meaning to cover a very important part of our community, which of course is the veterans. We have a lot of servicemen and women who have actually even been deployed and have since then returned back to the CNMI. I mean, even some who haven't deployed but have been in the service for a very long time and are now back residing in the CNMI, and they're maybe looking to expand their entrepreneurial spirit, right? And so this has been something that since the inception of our program, we've been trying to put on, and finally this summer we will be bringing Boots to Business. And so it's a very exciting time at the SBDC. We're slowly getting all the national programs out here, and this is one of them. So we encourage any military servicemen and women, their spouses, their families, including National Guardsmen, to come in and register if you're not a registered client already. All of this does not cost a thing, as you've been mentioning, so thank you for that. So take advantage of the opportunities that are being presented to us by the experts and folks over at the Small Business Administration, including the VBOC of the Pacific, which is a very strong partner in bringing us this training to you in person.
Yeah, and so you have to deal with those folks a lot, I'm guessing, to bring those kind of opportunities to us. So how does this all come together?
I just reached out to them.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, hey, we're the newest network in the entire nation. Probably don't know where we are, but how would you feel about coming over to a small little island called Saipan and presenting to our veteran community anything and everything about starting their own business? And they're like, you know what, this is a great opportunity to expand the program outward. Let's do it. And so this has been in the making since January of this year, and finally we're bringing it in person in June. So yeah, it's a lot of collaboration, and the SBA, and as much as we like to think they've got all the federal funds and capabilities to come out this way, they too are tight, and they too are prudent. They are business people after all. Yeah. So the fact that they're willing to come out this way says a lot. Says a lot about their commitment to ensuring that the CNMI is not left out with all these national programs that are widely spread throughout the entire CONUS. Yeah. So we're excited to have them on. I do believe they offer this training a lot in Guam, but it's been a minute. So we are actually even pleased to bring on Ken Lujan, our SBA branch manager out from Guam, who will be joining Dennis Kwok, the director of VBOC, from Honolulu, Hawaii, to be presenting this 8-hour training series. So come over. It's going to be a lot of great discussion, a lot of like-minded people, the industry experts, including those who have direct knowledge to access to capital and understanding the economics of your business plan. And the startup of it all is going to be in the room. So now is the time to connect with them. And even if you don't get the chance to meet with them one-on-one, at least you'll have their contact information. They can put your name to your face. And as soon as you send them the email, they'll be able to respond to you right away because of that connection that was made while out here. So swing by. It is 8 hours, but I promise you it's going to be a lot of great 8-hour information packed into that one day. Lunch will be covered because we are going to be working through the entire day. We'll have light refreshments throughout the day, so you don't have to leave PIC to grab something to eat the entire day. We'll just be at PIC, and we'll be there to help you with your needs after the training, whether it's, taking all your information and making sure you're in the system and allowing for that connection to be made even after the training. So very excited for our veterans. We hope that they take advantage of it.
Wow. So they're going to get all this information and lunch.
Yeah. Yes, it's a great package deal, man.
It is. Oh my gosh. Lunch at PIC. It's not even a tuna sandwich. Like, this is great.
No.
So now this is going to be next Tuesday. It's from 10 to 6 a.m. It's at the Napu Room at Pacific Islands Club. and they're going to cover
Yes.
all these different things. So question is there still room available?
Yes, there is. We do know that we've been receiving calls to get into the system, so we know we are filling up the seats, but I think there's still room. There's still room for some people. So even if you're not registered today, it's a very quick process. I swear it takes like 5 minutes to become an SBDC client. So easy. And if you even need assistance over the phone, give us a call, 237-688 and 6888, and we'll walk you through it. It's so easy. Or visit our website at cnmisbdc.com. And it'll lead you right to the eCenter portal where you can fill out the questionnaire that'll allow you to become an SBDC client, therefore allowing yourself to get into this no-cost registration for this training opportunity.
Yeah, and it really is great. And we'll make sure that we'll post this in the comments afterwards, all the basic info so everyone could see it, because it's such a great opportunity. Like it is really awesome, and that you guys take care of us like that.
Oh, thank you. And likewise, thank you for the media partnership. We wouldn't be able to get the word out as quickly as we can without your help. So thank you too, Brad. And we want to thank the veteran community as well for their service and doing what we can to make it easier for you. If you are really interested in starting a business, talk to us and we'll see what we can do to get you the resources you need. It's such a great opportunity to have like an actual SBDC network established in the CNMI, and those are the smaller things that we can do. But if there's something else that we can do that we haven't thought of or that you need direct access to, that's what we're here for. So. And
yeah, I know we're talking about startups and everything like that, but how about folks who already have an established like small business? Is that still something they can avail of?
Yes, that's a great question. And I always encourage, even if you are a business owner, I still encourage those who are interested in whatever subject topic we're presenting on to just come in and attend, because you never know, right? Information's always changing. Programs are ever evolving. It's never the same requirements or the same opportunities. Even from month to month, they could change. And so whatever we present during these training opportunities are always offering the latest information. So come in and just, hear what interests you. And if something applies to you, reach back to us and we'll see what we can do to help you. But if not, we're always there to hear you out and see what we can do to get you those resources, regardless if you have a business already or you don't. So please come in. I can't stress this enough. It's such an exciting time because it's really difficult to get these folks out here, and the fact that they're willing to come out all the way to offer this in person. Usually it's like a webinar, but not next week. Next week is an actual in-person training, and we're so happy that we got SBA on board to support this training opportunity.
Well, yeah, that's the big thing, getting everybody to come out here and not just sitting in front of a video or zooming in or becoming like a Microsoft Teams or something.
Yeah. And if there's anything I've learned with SBDC, it's people enjoy the in-person stuff. We do have like a small percentage of folks who like the webinars, but hands down majority prefer the in-person. They like that, one-to-one interaction. And so we do our best to do all our training opportunities in person, unless it's like a really last minute thing or something really late in the evening that's the only time we could get the expert in. But otherwise we prefer to do it in person. And this being that this is one of the first times that the VBOC of the Pacific is actually going to be making their rounds this way, we wanted to make sure that this was an in-person training.
Well, that's great. I'm actually checking out your website now for the event, and there's all kinds of great info in there. I put the link in our comments so that folks can go ahead and sign up with you over there. And hopefully, I'm going to have to put in a new account with you guys. I'm pretty sure I signed up with you guys a long time ago. But and if not, I will get back to you and make sure. I'll verify. I'll make sure you're on. All right.
And you know, the great thing too is if this is not something that interests you, it's like you're into other programs. Once you're an SBDC client, you'll start getting all the other training opportunities, all the events. So once you're signed up, all of that goes directly to your email address that you provide for us in our e-center. And I know just one day there'll be something that pops up that relates to you, and you're gonna be like, I gotta go to that one. And yeah, all of this is no cost. So, you got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose, everything to gain. Maybe even a couple of pounds over there at lunch. You can gain anything out of this. It's a great program.
Thanks, Matt. Thank you so much.
No problem. Well, I'll make sure that I get signed up for it anyway. If I miss it, awesome. Tobot Koster is on there. He's like, hey, wait, what did I miss? Are they giving away money?
Oh yeah, well, there are people who know how to give that away will be there. So maybe not at the event, but they'll definitely connect you to that opportunity. So check it out.
No, that's great. Well, we'll be there for sure. And again, you said the number for the office was it 234-6888?
237.
237.
68.
Oh, so
yeah,
close.
6888.
237-6888. That'll get you to the Small Business Development Center. And so you're located at the college?
Yes, we're in Building P. Same office as the president. We're still at the old campus. We haven't moved.
That's great.
So,
well,
yeah.
you're not in a tent. You're in the actual building.
Yes.
And it's Building P for president. That is such a smart way to number that or designate that building. Hey, by the way, okay, so just real quick, this is not necessarily related to that, but the Student Center is going up. It seems like really exciting to see that progress all the time.
Yes.
Is there a buzz around the campus with all that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, we can't wait. I mean, you can imagine how we feel. It's going to be years and years of construction as we rebuild back our campus, including where the permanent SBDC office is going to be at, which is the Workforce Development Building. And from what I understand, the groundbreaking for that will be sometime before the end of the year, along with the CRED building, which houses the CREASE program. So Patty Coleman's CREASE with aquaculture, agriculture, all things farm life, including their food lab will be also built probably around the same time the Workforce Development Building will be built. So, but as far as the Student Center, that should be, I want to say, the shell of the building, meaning the actual structure, will be standing up by fall of next year is the projected time. The time that students get to move in there, however, is a different projection. But at least the building will be standing by next fall, and it'll give us something to look forward to as we head into 2027 or 2026 with the new students coming in hopefully by the following fall. But we'll see how everything goes. Construction, it's always unpredictable. Weather can change. This whole workforce issue can change. And so anything to get that up and running, though, it's just exciting stuff. They put up the new sign. I don't know. Have you passed by there yet?
I passed by it every day.
I just noticed it this morning.
No, I didn't. Maybe they put it up after I went past it. I totally didn't see it.
Oh, okay. I was like, hey, there's the building. Yeah, that's definitely new. I didn't see that yesterday, but it's pretty cool stuff.
Well, that's great. And we're talking with Nadine De Leon Guerrero about the Operation Boots to Business. It's going to be next Tuesday at Pacific Islands Club. If you haven't signed up yet, you can. Just go to their website. And the website link is in the comment section. It's marianas.ecenterdirect.com/events 1019158. Boy, I can't believe I just put the whole thing out there. But I mean, that's it. It's there.
You're the best. Thank you.
So
helpful.
We got folks coming in from off island to help you with your business, whether you're trying to get it set up or you've already got it in operation. There's stuff that you can definitely learn out of this, and the experts are here to help you out, and they're also going to help you out with lunch. That's included at Pacific Islands Club. So Hey, this is time to get down the formation there, all you service members. Get out there and check this out. Nadine, anything else you want to talk about?
Just your awesomeness. But we can do that in a different session. But thank you. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you guys and all the work that you're doing. And I just want to say, Brad, I'm really proud of you and how far you've come with your show. You're doing a lot of amazing work, and I see it through all the comments, through all the engagement. So keep up the good work, and I'm looking forward to more stuff coming out of NMI News Service. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Nadine. I'm so glad to have you on, and we got a great studio. You got to come see it in person next time. I know.
Yes. Our next event. I promise I will make time.
All right. Great. Well, hey, have a great day, and we'll continue to promote the event between now and when it kicks off. So good luck with everything.
Thank you so much, Brad. Thank you. Have a great week ahead.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
All right. So that was Nadine De Leon Guerrero, who is on here telling us about the Boots to Business program that's going to be taking place. The big seminar. It's an 8-hour seminar. It's going to be next Tuesday from 10 to 6 at Pacific Islands Club. Now, you can't just show up, but you can register online by going to the Saipan or the Small Business Development Center's website, or you can actually give them a call at 237-6888, and they will help walk you through it. You got to sign up as a member and enroll with the Small Business Development Center, and that's not a tough thing to do. It's really pretty easy, and if you do it, they're going to be able to help you get everything that you need to make sure that your business is in good shape. Well, I like that idea for sure. Anything that's going to help me have lunch and be in good shape, I'm all for it. Anyway, we're going to take a break. We come back, we'll have headlines, we'll have sports, and more right after this.
Player number 14. It's
a great day to be up 3-0. I'll tell you that. Probably is not great to be down.
I'm Brad Rosala, and I'm the owner for Commonwealth Communications.
And I am Jojo Alipuzu. I am the owner of Island Image and Motion.
And this is our joint venture, Sideline Studios. This whole concept that we have of doing all these live stream productions and covering news and doing live shows and everything, it wouldn't happen if we didn't have a great partner like IT&E, someone who can handle the bandwidth and provide it and then get us what we need when we need it, and then be a real partner for us for all the events, whether we're doing live sporting events, broadcasts. All of these things happen because of our partnership with IT&E.
With IT&E providing us with the fiber and point-to-point and even the MBRs, it's just a great piece of equipment to use when we're broadcasting our sports, our events, our performances, especially our cultural performances. And it's just great to share our culture here in the Marianas with the world. And IT&E has been there from the get-go.
The thing I like best about working with IT&E is how willing they are to come out and find a solution. Even for Liberation Day, we thought we had a pretty good solution for our live stream setup, and it turns out that we did not have the right setup that we thought we needed. That day, just before the parade, reached out to Paul and said, here's our situation. What do you think? He's like, we're gonna figure this out. While he's sitting there barbecuing, getting ready for the parade to start, he starts burning up the phone lines, calling everybody in IT&E, what can we do, what's the right solution? They left their families to do this stuff and get us the equipment that we needed to broadcast live. That's over and above. That's on a holiday. That's when he was out there spending time with his family.
That's why IT&E is just the best, just really in touch with the people and the community.
I recommend IT&E to everybody. Tell them the options are there, and you can choose whoever you want and then figure out what you think is the best. But when you're ready, when you're tired of having your calls disconnected or not having service, then you reach out to the guys from IT&E.
My name is Kelly. I've never been good at giving up. And that's okay, because I have big plans. This might sound crazy right now, but someday, I will be the captain of my own ship.
It's the captain.
I'll steer it through new waters and I'll stand up to the biggest storms. Me and my crew will fight back against the toughest enemies. I'll lead the sailors on my ship, my way. And together, we will always do what is right. I'll show the world any girl can be a captain. I'll show them that I am enough. No matter what comes my way, I'll stay the course. Because history won't remember those who took the easy way out. My name is Kelly, and it means determination.
Persistence of build, be the inspiration they witness approve. We do what we do by the rules in the book. Be a laddie where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistence of build. Be the inspiration they witness approve. We do what we do by the rules in the book.
Greetings. Did you know that 1 in 5 adults experiences a mental health problem, but less than half receive the care they need? Mental health conditions are more common than cancer, diabetes, or heart disease. Yet, there still seems to be a stigma associated with seeking help for mental health well-being. This May, Mental Health Awareness Month, please join me in working towards normalizing discussions around mental health in our nation, and especially here at home in the Northern Marianas. Let's encourage and practice open conversations about mental health. Let's promote self-care practices such as regular exercise, adequate sleep, and when needed, let's not hesitate to seek help. If you or someone you know is experiencing a suicide, mental health, or substance use crisis, dialing or texting 988 connects you with a trained counselor you can help. Remember, dial or text 988 at any time to get the mental health you need. Thank you.
All right, welcome back, Marianas. We had a great call with Nadine De Leon Guerrero giving us all the latest on the Boots to Business, all kinds of business. That's going to be taking place next week. I'll tell you, I took an advantage during that break to sign up with the Small Business Development Center. And I can't believe I wasn't on there already. I tried it with both of my emails and it wasn't there, so just started from scratch and signed up with them so that I can get in there for Tuesday's event next week, June 4th at the PIC, Boots to Business. It's experts coming in to tell the people of the CNMI, especially veterans, how to set up and how to operate with proficiency your small business. And I could use all the help I can get. And we're lucky that we've got good folks putting that kind of stuff together for us. Faux show. I'm all about it. Anyway, really looking forward to that. We got some new info that come out because the latest update from the Associated Press is in. So we're going to go ahead and get that to you. And we're going to do it right now. Meow.
AP News, I'm Haya Panjwani. The Biden campaign sent allies like Robert De Niro to Trump's hush money trial. AP correspondent Julie Walker reports.
New Yorker and actor Robert De Niro was outside Donald Trump's hush money trial Tuesday with 2 January 6th officers to put a focus on the former president's actions that day. De Niro says it's all part of Trump's character, making him unworthy of the office.
We New Yorkers used to tolerate him when he was just another grubby real estate hustler masquerading as a big shot. A two-bit playboy.
During that news conference, De Niro got into an argument with a Trump supporter. Trump's campaign held their own news conference with advisor Jason Miller calling out the Oscar winner.
The best that Biden can do is roll out a washed-up actor
And don't worry, my remarks will be shorter than the Irishman.
Miller says after saying politics had nothing to do with the trial, the Biden-Harris campaign shows up and makes a campaign event out of it. At criminal court in Manhattan, I'm Julie Walker.
Judge Juan Merchan says some jurors have made childcare and other arrangements allowing them to stay until 7 or 8 p.m. President Joe Biden will be formally nominated as the Democratic presidential nominee through a virtual roll call ahead of the party's official convention in Chicago this August. It's a maneuver that will allow Biden to appear on the November ballot in Ohio. At a news conference, Kent County prosecutor Chris Becker says charges won't be filed against a police officer who struck and killed a teenager who was running from a stolen vehicle.
From his statement, he was trying to cut him off from going into the neighborhoods in the back there. Tried to pull in front of him. Looks like the tire essentially caught his left calf, pulling off his shoe and kind of a slingshot down. You saw it was a violent fall to the ground.
That audio is courtesy of WZZM TV. This is AP News. It was a sluggish return to work on Wall Street after the long weekend.
I'm Seth Sutel, and this is the AP Markets Report. Most stocks fell on Wall Street as a tick higher in bond yields tightened the screws on the stock market following a three-day weekend. The S&P 500 closed little change Tuesday. The benchmark index is sitting just below the record high it set a week ago. Most stocks in the index fell. The Dow lost 216 points. It's about 0.6%. Some technology stocks remain particularly strong, including chip company NVIDIA, which added another 7%. That helped the Nasdaq Composite rise 0.6% to another all-time high. Bond yields rose following a stronger than expected report on consumer confidence and an auction of treasuries. The yield on the 10-year Treasury note rose to 4.54%. Seth Sutel, New York.
Stewart-Haas Racing will close its NASCAR teams at the end of this season after rumors that their 4-car Cup Series team was looking to sell its charters. I'm Haya Panjwani, AP News.
Hey, we're back, CNMI. That was the latest update from the Associated Press, getting us everything that we need to find out what's happening hour by hour in the mainland and around the world. Really happy to have that. We've got the latest sports update from them, too, but it's a little lengthy, so we'll save that for a little bit later as we get closer to the end of the show. It's a big one. The last one that we had was a minute. This one's like over 6 minutes long. That's pretty heavy. So, again, we'll save that to the end. So, for the folks who are sticking around at the end, we'll be able to do that. You know, we talked yesterday a little bit about the governor's letter about what's going on. You've got the chamber who's saying that we need China. Chamber, hand me MVA, all about it. And then you've got the governor's office and the administration saying, look, we're moving in another direction. They can come here. Nobody's saying they can't come here, but we need something else in our lives. Well, now there's another organization that came in, and these are the activist-y types. You know, nothing negative about them necessarily, but, you know, whenever you don't put your name on something, it's always tough, right? So, but it's, the group's called Our Commonwealth 670, and they're more of the activist-y types, right? They've gone out there and they've got some good takes on some things, and they genuinely care about what happens in our community and everything. And I mean, I think everybody does, but they were talking specifically, mostly about the military. They are definitely not on the fence about the military. That group does not, you know, care for them at all. They use terms like the militarization of the CNMI and all this stuff. Well, that's okay. So they came out with this this piece here and about fear mongering, as they put it, saying that it's between the governor and the military. And I want to give them some equal footing on it, but you know, I don't really agree with all the stuff they put in there, although I do really like the people that are part of that organization, you know, a lot of them. But, you know, they're a little close with some folks who I probably don't share a lot of common ground with their opinions. But that's my delicate dance around saying, like, you know, some of this stuff I just, you know, I'm not on board for. But that's me. You know, it's not all about me. Although, as my wife tells me all the time, it's not all about me. So that's it. Anyway, they got a good piece that they put out. and it's they're more about. I'm great with giving them some equal play on this one for sure, because they took the time to write it, although they didn't put a name to it other than the organization itself. By the way, that's before we get to that part, or the main piece. One of my friends told me before, and I had all kinds of discussions with him about this stuff, like people who pen things anonymously. I'm okay with it. Like Ben Franklin did that, right? Benjamin Franklin did that. He wrote under pseudonyms for some things. But I like to know who's the voice. They're like, well, why is that important? Why isn't the message more important? I'm like, well, context, because these things don't come in a vacuum, right? The people say these things, and I like to know what their background is when they're saying that kind of stuff, what their interest may be in the message that they're delivering. So that's why I prefer this. And there's no mystery, like they're not trying to withhold who's a member of their organization or anything. They don't. They're just a bunch of nice ladies who are part of this organization. So let's give them the equal run on this. Here, let's see if I can't just share the screen for you to show you what I'm looking at. And this is it. This is from the organization called Our Commonwealth, and this is what they pen that's in the paper today. It says, there's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to solving complex geopolitical concerns in our region of the world. The renewed fear-mongering about the People's Republic of China as a major enemy of the U.S. sets a dangerous precedent for how we can respond to the tensions we see surrounding us in the CNMI. Rooted in a long history of Sinophobia, which is the fear and dislike or hate of China or anyone and anything from China, and yellow peril ideologies in the U.S., contemporary anti-China rhetoric is on the rise, and it's being used to motivate public opinion to garner support for U.S. policies that may not necessarily benefit our community. It tells us that if we unequivocally support the U.S. in crushing China, we are being patriotic and therefore positive. Anyone who questions increasing militarization is seen as anti-American and unsupportive. When things become oversimplified, pro-China equals bad, pro-America equals good, it's probably time to take a step back and think about who benefits from this messaging. To assert that anyone who resists militarization is somehow pro-PRC or pro-Chinese Communist Party is a dangerous game to play. It places us in a position where we must maintain unequivocal adherence and allegiance to U.S. policies without any critical thinking, even as we witness the destruction of our lands at the hands of the military for exercises in infrastructure and expansion. It effectively silences any valid critique of the largest and most dominant military on the planet, whose budget now exceeds $1 trillion. That's right, $1 trillion is being spent on military and weapons systems for fiscal year 2024. Why does this matter? It matters because our social, political, and economic futures in the CNMI are intimately tied to how much support we have for the U.S. policies and increasing militarization in the region. Take the recent pivot away from Chinese tourism. This shift was a direct response to U.S. fears of PRC involvement in the CNMI. Now we are witnessing a worsening economic crisis fueled in part by this shift. Such a seismic change in economic policy should have been met with an equally urgent backup plan for replacing lost revenues. Instead, our government is now left to depend on the U.S. for economic assistance, while it asks us to bear the economic burden of this pivot for the sake of security. Furthermore, there is a massive difference between the legitimate critiques of PRC spying, blatant human rights violations, and questionable economic dealings versus assertions that Chinese tourists are proxies for illicit PRC government activity. In fact, the blurring of these distinctions actually undermines these legitimate critiques of PRC violations. Make no mistake, the PRC is no teddy bear, but as in any world conflict, we have to take seriously the respect for human dignity by refusing to conflate our respect and understanding of peoples with their governments. All of this is to say that a strong community-led resistance to militarization actually means a more secure future for our community because it means less reliance on a corrupt military-industrial complex that prioritizes profits over people, including those in the military itself. It could mean less provocation and a call for a more serious dialogue between the CNMI government and the U.S. and between the U.S. and China. Resisting militarization is a strategy to promote agency in our political decision making and uphold the importance of our sovereignty. It is unrealistic to try to promote peace in the region while supporting an aggressive militarization of our islands and expect every other major power not to take this buildup as a threat. Fear creates panic, which makes it really difficult to assess how credible threats actually are and to whom, especially when we are surrounded by U.S. media that has benefited from sensationalizing this threat. Take a moment to think about the top 3 reasons you've been told the PRC is an enemy to the United States. Where did you hear about the information and what is motivating you? What data are we using to assess the threats? Furthermore, how should the CNMI respond given our relationship to the United States? It is exceedingly important to be clear about what these threats are in order to assess whether the response to these threats is warranted on our islands and whether competition is the same thing as a direct threat to security. Building a new base on Tinian in response to threats that may or may not be verifiable is a big chance to be taking our lives on and our ecosystem. Man, it is very difficult for me to read this stuff because I just disagree so strongly with some of this stuff. All right, hold on. We'll break those down afterwards. Let's get back to this. All right. Building a new base on Tinian in response to threats that may or may not be verifiable is a big chance to be taking our lives and our island ecosystems, especially when some of the most important decisions about our futures are being made all the way in Washington, D.C. In the end, fear-mongering neither helps us prepare for the possibility of an attack, nor does it help us grasp the severity of the threats. It is not a sound political strategy, and it does not provide a plan for our future outside of anything except more support for U.S. militarization at all costs. We have yet to witness a plan of action for what successful engagement and cooperation with China would look like from the CNMI's vantage point. As the U.S. continues to prime our islands for war, our lands are being trained and tested on the detriment of native terrestrial species, marine life, water quality and soil, and so much more. Why would we want to question whether these plans are good for us and whether our lands, seas, and skies sustain our very being and our identities as islanders? Holding the PRC accountable for critiquing destructive militarization is not at odds. Rather, both concerns can and do exist at the same time. At the end of the day, we can't eat bullets or bombs, so it's probably best that we don't depend on them as a source of sustenance moving forward. Okay, I take so many issues with this stuff, and I'm telling you, it was hard for me to finish. I had to interrupt on that because some of that is just some gobbledygook bull crap. I'm telling you, I'm sorry. I care about the folks who wrote some of this, and I appreciate their take on a lot of it. They've been around for a lot of this stuff, but some of this is just BS. It says building a new base on Tinian in response to threats that may or may not be verifiable is a big chance to be taken on our lives. What are you talking about? What kind of chance is that taking our? It's not building a full-on base on Tinian, first of all. It's a divert airstrip. It is a place where the military can land. The military has leased the northern 2/3 of Tinian. That's not new. That goes back like 40 years. What are you talking about? They're just creating some new base. It's not a base. It's a new landing strip that's going to be right next to the actual airport. They have that at airports all around the country, right? It's not where it's going to be permanently staffed with like thousands or hundreds or anybody. It's just going to be a refueling facility and a maintenance facility that's going to be there, that's going to be used for exercises. It's not a full-on base. And if they wanted to, that's not in response to China. That's based on an agreement that was made 40 years ago. And how does that put us at risk? It doesn't. It doesn't. And it's only helping the economy over there in Tinian. You could go look at it. Go see how much everything goes for now. There's actual real estate market now. Like to get a place over there. What are they talking about? And what is this kind of oh my God. I appreciate that there are folks who are not warm to the military. Totally great. I was in the military, and what I remember is that everybody loves the military unless it's in your town. I get it. I mean, look at Guam. I get it. There's good and bad to it. There's pros and cons to it. I'm totally with you on that. But, I mean, what does it say? As the U.S. continues to prime our islands for war. What are you talking about? And then it says our lands are being trained and tested on the detriment of native terrestrial species, marine life, water quality, soil, and so much more. Couldn't be further from the truth. Not at all. These are the folks who wrote this are not working with the folks who are on the other side of that at all. Not at all. Man, I'll tell you, the DOD spends so much time and money having professionals on there to deal with those activistic types, to show them the real numbers that they need to see that the actual work is really being done. Is the military perfect? No. But you make it sound like the military is just a bunch of bad guys who don't care about the country. They're serving our country. What do you think they're doing? You think they're like your Coke and their Pepsi and they just want to see you? No, come on. Just absolutely ridiculous. Where's this? Where is it? Yeah, this doesn't make so. This part makes sense. Says, why wouldn't we want to question whether these plans are good for us when our land, seas, and skies sustain our very beings? That makes sense. And I don't disagree with this either. Holding the PRC accountable and critiquing destructive militarization is not odds. Okay, that's cool. But it's not destructive militarization. There's nothing okay, FDM has been getting pounded because that was part of the covenant agreement way before our times, right? That's not new. But there's nothing going on in Tinian that's destructive. There's nothing going up further north that's destructive. And that part, man, I'll tell you, that's why this organization was really good, or at least the people who are part of it. Because when the people of the CNMI said, hey, we don't want you to do bad things to Pagan. Pagan is amazing. And you know what happened? Nothing. Now, the community had to step up to make sure that happened that way and to really dial back the amount of activities that the military was initially looking at doing on Tinian as well. And the community came together and changed it, and that was great. The message coming from the NMI was loud and clear. And as a result, Tinian is not going to have all that heavy stuff. They're going to have some sniper stuff out there. That's not a big deal. And they're going to revamp Northfield. Cool. No big deal. And Pagan's not going to get totally reshaped. That's great. That is a benefit of this kind of an organization and people mobilizing to do that. But right now, this stuff, this is I think their mission is over for a little while because there's not negative stuff happening. And it's not fear-mongering. Like the thing is, just like they're saying that people should be looking at all the info that's happening, the people who are posting this kind of stuff, the people who are writing this kind of stuff have a perspective that's limited. They definitely have not paid attention to what's actually happening in this part of the world. They think that everybody wants to be pals. Ask Vietnam what's going on. Ask the Philippines what's going on. Ask Taiwan what's going on. Ask every single country in the South China Sea has an issue with China right now. All of them going in and fishing out their territorial waters. This is not a maybe. You can say all the happy things you want to say about how great that we should all get along and be kumbaya. But, man, those guys are steamrolling, folks. And if you don't see that, then you're not opening yourself up to what's actually happening in our region. If you don't know what China's trying to do between now and 2030 and then 2050, man, you are lost in the sauce. And that's not fear-mongering. You just don't know what's going on. And you're not paying attention. And it's not xenophobia, because I don't dislike Chinese people at all. I don't hate Chinese people or anything China or any of that stuff at all. I got a lot of great friends from China. I talk with people who are in China all the time, like there, right? Maybe not all the time, but I do talk to them, and they're fine. But the thing is, what's being done, like these Chinese policies and all that stuff, don't get it twisted. If you think that it's just, it's the big bad military who's saying things about China, that's not the case. That is not the case. And it's not just the United States. Open your eyes and open your ears and see what's actually happening, what people are saying about China. They are not saying China is just this super great, awesome company or country that's coming through and spreading love and warmth throughout the region. That is not what's happening. Hey, I'm not saying the U.S. is either, but I'm telling you, the idea that you think that maybe we should consider partnering up with them, screw you. Yeah, I'm just telling you. You be happy that you're able to post a letter like that in the newspaper, because you would not have that opportunity if you lived in China. You would end up missing somewhere. You'd be whisked away into a re-education facility. If you think that's just some fear-mongering, you need to go and find out what's happening, because you're not. You just are not. Well, I'm telling you, ladies, go out and you got to find this stuff out for yourself. And you're right. I 100% agree. They say when things become oversimplified, you need to take a step back and think about who benefits from the messaging. I'm with you. I don't benefit from that personally. So where's that coming from? But you're totally right. And you should push back against U.S. policies when they are not correct. You're absolutely right. You should. But you're trying to mix in other narratives in this stuff, you know? And I want to see this one sentence that I saw. It was so difficult to read. Hold on. Let me keep scrolling through in here. Yeah, I mean, I know you tried to balance it out by saying, make no mistake, the PRC is no teddy bear, right? But I'll tell you, what they're doing, they roll everybody that they are dealing with. It's either the CCP way or the highway. You made this one sentence that this is the one I want to find. Hold on. Should have some kind of music playing behind this as I'm looking to this. Where did you hear about this? This is such a big deal that I want to find this. We have yet to look at it. This is it. This sentence, I think, is it. That says, we have yet to witness a plan of action for what a successful engagement and cooperation with China would look like from the CNMI's vantage point. What does that mean? I mean, really, do you think that China is going to come here to be our pal and that everything's going to be great? Man, I'm telling you, you're missing out. Chinese tourists, yeah. But partnering up with the Chinese government, lady, you are crazy. You're crazy. You just don't know what you're talking about. You absolutely don't know what you're talking about. All right. At that, I'm going to take a break. I got to clean the palate after that one. We'll close out the show, but we're going to take a real quick break with the latest from AP Sports. I think that's the best way to kind of get ourselves out of this a little bit, because that bet was a bridge too far.
AP Sports, I'm Tom Merriam. The Boston Celtics are headed back to the NBA Finals for the second time in 3 years and the 23rd time in their illustrious history. The Celts completed a very competitive 4-game sweep of the Pacers. Our Tom McCabe was on the scene in Indianapolis.
3 of 4 games decided by 5 points or less. That was the story in the Celtics sweep of Indiana in the Eastern Conference Finals. Boston rallied from 9 points down in the fourth quarter for a 105 Game 4 win. Jaylen Brown led the Celtics with 29 points.
I was just happy that we won, and give credit to Indiana. You know, they played us tough. I know, like, people think that Indiana wasn't a good team or whatever the case may be. I mean, I thought they was tough as anybody we've played all season.
Derek White's three-pointer with 43 seconds left won it. Jason Tatum had 26 points for Boston. Indiana, playing without star Tyrese Halliburton, got 24 from Andrew Nembhard.
Even with the elimination, Pacers coach Rick Carlisle saw the positive side of his team's season.
An amazing season, a magical season. The level of fight was just tremendous all the way through this. Circumstance never fazed them one way or the other.
Carlisle was a teammate of Bill Walton on the Celtics' 1986 championship team. He and all of the basketball world were in mourning with the news earlier Monday that the legendary center, whose impact went well beyond the court, passed away from cancer at age 71.
He was a living, breathing event in history, just walking around. He was involved in so many events in pop culture, in sports. You know, he played drums for the Grateful Dead in the pyramids in Egypt. You know, he's a guy that did everything.
Walton won 2 NBA championships and 2 NCAA championships. His historic career at UCLA included a never-approached record of 88 straight wins and a 21 for 22 shooting performance in the 1973 NCAA title game. He was the College Player of the Year in all 3 of his seasons with the Bruins. Walton later became a popular broadcaster in both NBA and college games. Turning to the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Western Conference final moved to Edmonton with the Oilers and Stars tied at a game apiece. Gethin Kulba tells us who's now up 2-1.
Jason Robertson completed his first career playoff hat trick midway through the third period as the Dallas Stars defeated the Edmonton Oilers 5-3 to take a 2-1 lead in the NHL's Western Conference final. Dallas coach Peter DeBoer.
Goal scorers like him, you need one to drop and then all of a sudden, you know, it looks like a soccer net.
Wyatt Johnston and Miro Heiskanen into an empty net had the other goals for Dallas. Jake Ottinger made 26 saves. Connor McDavid earned his 100th career playoff point with a goal and an assist.
Playoffs are throughout games are about momentum swings, and when you don't have it, you got to wrestle it back. And we obviously didn't do that for the better part of that second period.
Zach Hyman and Adam Henrique also scored for Edmonton, which got 17 stops from Stuart Skinner. Game 4 is Wednesday in Edmonton.
The Seattle Kraken, who did not make the playoffs this year, are expected to name Dan Bylsma as their new coach. A person with knowledge of the choice tells AP. It's Bylsma's third head coaching job in the NHL after winning the Stanley Cup with Pittsburgh in 2009 and later spending 2 seasons with the Sabres. He replaces Dave Haxtell, who was fired after coaching the Kraken's first 3 seasons as an expansion team. Coming up, baseball and a likely adieu to Rafael Nadal at the French Open.
Yeah.
Baseball, only 10 games were played this Memorial Day. With an 11th, the Dodgers at the Mets rained out. The weather was good enough to play in Baltimore, where 2 longtime American League East rivals played a holiday matinee. AP's Craig Heist was on the scene.
Kyle Stowers had 3 hits, including a pair of doubles, and drove in a career-high 4 runs to lead the Orioles to an 11-3 win over the Red Sox. Baltimore has won a season-high 5 in a row, and they are 4-0 against the Red Sox so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, division games are huge. We want to win the division, and, those games are extra competitive because you know the guys very well. You've seen them, and definitely added energy. And so we're excited to keep getting some wins.
Ryan Mountcastle chipped in with 3 hits, an RBI, and a run scored. Cedric Mullins had a 2-run triple.
The Guardians' 9-game winning streak came to an end against the Rockies of all teams. A 4-run 6 lifted Colorado to an 8-6 win over Cleveland. Craig Counsell returned to Milwaukee for the first time since leaving the Brewers to become the Cubs manager at the end of last season. Counsell was first greeted by boos and then watched his Cubbies lose 5-1 to the Brew Crew. Willie Adames' 3-run homer keyed a 5-run 8th that broke up a scoreless tie. The Braves played their first game since Ronald Acuna Jr. suffered a season-ending knee injury. Insult was added to injury, as our Jim Hart reports.
The Nationals scored 6 runs in the first 3 innings, and rookie starter Mitchell Parker pitched shutout ball into the 7th to upend the Braves 8-4. Parker gave up 3 runs on 5 hits while walking none and striking out 6. The young lefty has now given up 3 runs or less in his first 8 starts in the majors. He used a simple approach to stifle the Braves.
A lot of early contact, a lot of ground balls. Fielders were making a lot of plays. A lot of fly balls. I was just keeping the count short, pitch count down. That's all that matters.
The Nationals jumped on Brave starter Charlie Morton with 4 runs in the first inning. They extended their lead to 8-0 before the Braves responded with 4 in the 7th.
Also in the National League, the Reds snapped the Cardinals' 5-game winning streak 3-1. The Padres edged the Marlins 2-1 on a bases-loaded walk to Jake Cronenworth in the bottom of the 9th. The Giants doubled up the Phillies 8-4 as Mike Yastrzemski scored 2 runs and drove in 2 others. In the American League, the Twins held off the Royals 6-5. The Blue Jays east passed the White Sox 5-1, and the Mariners topped the Astros 3-2. No games in the WNBA. Tennis. Rafael Nadal lost in the first round of the French Open to Alexander Zverev 6-3, 7-6, 6-3 in what might turn out to be the 14-time Roland Garros champion's last match at his favorite tournament. The nearly 38-year-old Nadal has been dealing with hip and abdominal injuries since January 2023 and played infrequently, so he was unseeded for the French Open for the first time. Said Nadal, "If it's the last time that I played here, I am at peace with myself." Tom Merriam, AP Sports.
With discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistence to build. Be the inspiration, they witness the proof. We do what we do by the rules in the book. Be a lottie where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistence to build. Be the inspiration, they witness the proof. We do what we do by the rules in the book.
All right. Calm down. I know that was loud. Did that wake you up? I think it did. Well, it's waking me up, and looks like people are up and moving just fine on, well, I was going to say Middle Road because I think I need another cup of coffee. But on Beach Road today, it's 9:12, and it is not cold at all outside. It's jumped up just in the time that we started this show till now. It's gone up 7 degrees. It's 88 degrees out there. That's right. It's otso. Isolated showers, mostly sunny skies. The high near where it is right now at 88. Winds out of the east, not too big. It's going to be 9 miles an hour-ish, so not too bad. I just want to give you guys a little wrap up before we get out of here because that's all we got for today. I want to say thanks for coming in and thanks for watching today. We're going to have a great show tomorrow, too. Why? Because you're going to be here. All right. Hey, folks, have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. That's news, that's sports, that's weather. And we had them all together. What? Right here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, if you're watching us on Facebook, you watch us on YouTube as well. And, man, please subscribe over on the YouTubes at NMI News 670. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 7 o'clock. It is Good Morning Marianas. And it's going to be a great day because you guys were here with us today. Take care. We'll see you guys tomorrow.